Giza pyramids, built to endure an eternity, have done just that. The monumental tombs are relics of Egypt's Old Kingdom era and were constructed some 4,500 years ago. Egypt's pharaohs expected to become gods in the afterlife. To prepare for the next world, they erected temples to the gods and the massive pyramid tombs for themselves, filled with all the things each ruler would need to guide and sustain himself in the new world. Pharaoh Khufu began his first Giza pyramid project circa 2550 BC. His Great Pyramid is the largest in Giza and towers some 481 feet or 147 meters above the plateau. It's estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing an average of 2.5 to 15 tons. Khufu's son, Pharaoh Khafre, built the second pyramid at Giza circa 2520 BC. His necropolis also included the Sphinx, a mysterious limestone monument with the body of a lion and a pharaoh's head. The Sphinx stands sentinel for the pharaoh's entire tomb complex. The third of the Giza pyramids is considerably smaller than the first two. Built by Pharaoh Menkaure circa 2490 BC, it featured a much more complex mortuary temple. Each massive pyramid is but one large part of a larger complex, including a palace, temples, solar boat pits, and other features. But there are people out there that think that the pyramids are constructed for different purposes. Are the pyramids really Noah's Ark? Did aliens actually build them? Are the pyramids actually an ancient power source? Today on Conspiracies, we look into some theories on why they were built and by who. Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Hereticals. This is Conspiracy. I am your host, Jay. Joined with me, as always, is Mr. Chris.
Hey.
Yeah, apologies for the intro. Apparently, one of the pictures didn't download with the video.
I hate to say it, but it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, exactly. It's a conspiracy.
It is.
Well, today we're looking at...
The truth is out here.
Yeah, the truth shall set you free.
Indeed.
We're going to be looking at 7 different conspiracy theories based around the pyramids of Giza. But first, Chris, how you doing?
Mate, I'm doing pretty good. You know, it's we've had a bit over a week off, haven't we? It's been about a week and a half. So
you was a little under the weather last week.
Yeah, I was. I wasn't doing too well at all. But fortunately, I've sparked up and fit as a fiddle now. So I got well just in time for my state to go into lockdown for 2 weeks. So school holiday starts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the kids are all home. We've got a heap of stuff planned for them. I get better. Excellent. Everything's great. And then all of a sudden, lockdown. For 2 weeks. It's just like, you're kidding. But anyway, it is what it is. Big hello to everyone in the chat too. So Raven was first. It's always good. Raven always beats you. Like she
beats me at home too. You should see the bruises.
I believe that, but in all fairness, you probably do deserve it.
I probably,
yeah. Ed thinks it's a conspiracy that to deprive him of sleep. It is a conspiracy. We actually planned this knowing that you've got to get up early, and you probably haven't had your coffee yet. So,
well, he's probably only had one pod. So,
well, that's pretty bad. It's funny. I've gotten into the habit now. Every morning, Lucy will ask if I want a coffee, and I'll say, "Oh, you mean a coffee?" So we've actually started calling it coffee.
Coffee
in our best Ed impersonation. So it's good to see Jade and Randy there as well. Good to see you as well.
Yeah, Randy and Jade. This comment's funny because Ed's been to the house. Obviously, we've seen him. He was in 6-pack. Mm-hmm. He really thought this room was much bigger than it actually is. I mean, it's like I'm touching the wall.
well, give us the wingspan. I mean, what's the wingspan?
I can touch side to side.
Okay, that's all right. I'm about the same in here, so it's.
Yeah. I think you were actually a little longer. Yours is longer than mine, but yeah.
This is longer. So this goes it's the length of a bedroom because I've got a room off to the side, and this is like an office that comes off it, and it's really long and really thin, a bit like I used to be, tall and thin. Then I got tall and wide.
Well, morning to everybody else. I think we got everybody. Randy, Jade.
I think so.
Ed.
And anyone who's watching in the future as well.
Yeah.
Good to see you, and greetings
all,
from the
all
past.
All those people that are going to go, it's not a conspiracy. It's actually true.
Yeah, that's it. A big shout out to Bobby Mack as well.
Bobby!
I know Bobby will be watching at some point. This is Bobby's favorite show. It's he's a huge fan.
Get with the times, Ed. Get with the times. Have another pot of coffee.
Coffee. It's called coffee.
Yeah, you got to get that accent.
That coffee. I love it. I can't drink coffee now without thinking of Ed. It's really bad. But no, so definitely a big shout out to Bobby Mack. And just in case, Bobby, just in case you forgot,
I enjoy talking to Bobby.
What's going on? G'day, Hands. Good to see you as well.
So this week we're talking pyramids. Next week is the first part of a 2-part series on the Men in Black. We're going to go over the history of Men in Black in the first episode, and then the following week we'll deal into some stories, which we're probably going to.
Do I need to suit up for that one? Like, should I full on?
Oh, I would, but I don't own a suit, so.
I don't think I got a black suit that fits me anymore, but anyway.
So, and then after that, Our Lady of Fatima.
That'll be fun.
Have you got a chance to look into that yet?
See, I'm of two minds, because it's what I really like about this is I like that you surprise me with some of these conspiracies. So sometimes it's good to go in blind, because I think sometimes you can get too prepared. I'd hate to get too prepared for something. Oh, hang on, that was debunked back in 2003, and it was actually three drunk college kids pulling a prank for YouTube or something. But
you mean crop circles?
well, yes, yeah. Well, we know about that one. So I like to be a little bit surprised. It's a bit like when we had the missing time around Charlemagne. I mean, if I had to research that, it would have been about a 3-second conversation. Yeah, it was virtually a 3-second conversation anyway. But that's okay. We can work around these things.
4 weeks out. So in 4 weeks, we're going to be covering the Thule Society. Not quite a conspiracy, but
it's okay.
There's some stuff in there that you kind of make you go, like Hollow Earth and Nazis on the moon.
I think we were sort of having a bit of a chat that we're probably going to start looking at some of these cults and groups as well as we do this, because I think it's I think there's a lot that we can cover with I think it all kind of blends in with conspiracies, and it sort of
Heaven's
fits
Gate.
a lot of what we channel. Yeah,
Heaven's Gate would definitely fall into the conspiracy /cult. So,
and just to give a shout out too, we've got Six Pack on this week with Catherine Roberts is coming back and joining us. You probably saw Catherine on the AP podcast, former pastor for 20 odd years and deconverted, so she'll be with us on Six Pack and the following week. Should I don't know. Should I let the cat out of the bag yet, or?
Oh, I'll do it. Let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, right.
They can start canceling us now.
In 2 weeks, Steve McRae and Chesh will be joining us for Six Pack, which would be cool. But I know that I realise that I've never had Chesh on the channel, and that's a massive oversight on my part, because I think Chesh
we haven't,
is awesome.
Have we?
No, we've had Steve. I've done heaps of stuff with Steve. I've done heaps of stuff. I've done stuff with Chesh as well, but it's always been on Steve's channel or on other channels. But I realise it's like, hang on, I've never had Chesh on Six Pack, and it's like, no, that's not cool. We need to fix that, because Chesh is really cool. So anyway, enough about that. Pyramids. What do we got?
All right.
What do we got? So we got so just to clear something up now, Jay, you've been caught out in a lie because you said it was 6 conspiracies, but you've actually got 7.
I've actually have 7. So
okay, all right. Well,
Jay, I'm gonna let you
known liar, that Jay.
I'm gonna let you choose. Do you want to start off with the pyramids or Noah's Ark, or the aliens built the pyramid? Which one do you want to start with first?
Look, we have to save the best to last, so we'll save Noah's Ark.
No. The best for last. I'm going to save the best for last.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, let's kick it off with Noah's Ark.
Let's kick it off with Noah's Ark.
Let's kick it off with Noah's Ark.
So the pyramids are actually Noah's Ark. It says the pyramids are a giant boat in the latest theory by historian Matthew Simpson, who believes that the pyramids are actually Noah's Ark used in the Genesis flood story through which God spares Noah, his family, and all animals that received the invite to join it. Giants and dinosaurs showed up too late. Based on the debate over the meaning of the Greek word, Simpson puts forth the idea that instead of describing the ark as tall, it actually describes it as pyramids. Based on his theory around some dubious translations of the Dead Sea Scrolls, medieval Italian artists, and some impressive dot connecting, Simpson states that the idea of the pyramid-shaped ark, of course, makes us think of ancient Egypt, and we know that Egypt features heavily in the Old Testament.
Okay, so just to be clear, so are we talking like one of the pyramids is the ark or all of the pyramids is the ark?
It doesn't say. It says the pyramids.
Okay, because the pyramids stretch out. Like, it's not just a couple of pyramids in the one spot. I mean, they really stretch out. I think if you... is it Sudan? I think there's even pyramids. Like, they basically go down the Nile, like, which is a big river. And if that was the boat, well, that boat is bigger than Egypt. which in all fairness would probably fit two of every kind, or or seven, or whatever it is. But that's so. Well, where do these translations come from that say that?
See, I looked into it. I couldn't find much more information than what I read you. Everything I found all pointed back to the same thing. Because of a translation of the word tall, instead of saying tall, it describes it as a pyramid. So whatever word he was translating tall, and he translated it to pyramid instead of tall. And therefore, it is an ark.
Right. Okay. Well, see, that's possibly not the craziest Bible-inspired pyramid story I've heard, but it is definitely up there. But no, completely impossible. There's multiple pyramids. They're all separate structures. And unless there was, like, Noah had a fleet, a fleet that was built over, about 1,000 years, or actually about 2,000 years, because the ones down in Sudan, I think they only date to about 600 or 700 BC.
Yeah.
The others are pretty much anywhere in between, so like 26 and 1600.
I think with the rest of this theory, the conspiracy theories we have here, I think you just talk. They're all just talk about the three main ones. I don't think they're considering all the smaller ones.
Mainly Giza.
Yeah, mainly just including Giza. So
the smaller ones probably don't help the narrative, do they?
No.
Funny that. So look, yes, Egypt does feature in the Bible because Egypt were a major player, and they're probably the oldest surviving empire. The pyramids, we know that the pyramids were around because they were part of the seven wonders of the ancient world. They're mentioned in a lot of Greek history, Greek history from sort of that 5th and 6th century. Alexander the Great speaks of it. So, we know that they were there for a period of time. Plus, we can date these. We can date them as well. We know who the kings who were buried in them were. We know when they were around. We know why they were built. There's some questions as to how.
Are you sure you know why they were built? Because I've got some theories here that may make you change your mind.
Well, look, I'm open to having my mind changed, and if it's the little green lizard men, well, so be it.
Well, speaking of little green lizard men, aliens built the pyramids.
See, this is a good old classic one, isn't it?
Well, this one's a little twist on it, actually, though.
Oh, even better.
So, we're going to start off. It starts off with, those big stone structures out in Egypt, the ones that are supposedly built to house the remains of dead pharaohs, the ones you were taught that were built by the Egyptians. Well, you are wrong. They were built by aliens.
Of course.
Let's take a look at some undeniable evidence.
Undeniable evidence. Just to be clear, undeniable evidence.
Undeniable.
All right.
So, and then it continues on and goes, any website that starts like this seems really authoritative. Everything from the Predator aliens to Scientology's Lord Zeno have been put forward as a puppet master, guiding human civilization from the beginning.
So hang on. So sorry, are they putting the Predator and Lord Zeno in the same category?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Cool. All right. We're off to a really good start.
So where's the proof? Well, the speed of light is 299, 792, 458 meters per second at the geographical, and the geographical coordinates for the Great Pyramids are 29.9792458 degrees north. Coincidence? I think not.
Which so hang on, that's undeniable evidence.
Yeah. Because the coordinates for the pyramids of Giza, for the Great Pyramid, Khufu's pyramid, is exactly the same as how fast the speed of light is. So therefore, aliens.
And that's the undeniable evidence.
Yep. So, and then it continues on. It says theories of this ilk basically say that because the civilization that invented the calendar and was based on farming couldn't possibly understand the stars, seasons, days of the year, and the rotation of the earth, must have gotten their technology from aliens. I mean, it's not like they knew basic math and stargazing, right?
No, I mean, there's absolutely no mathematics whatsoever in history. It was all discovered in 1900, of course. But that's. I'm actually a bit let down by that. I was expecting something like really like, whoa, okay, that's a pretty out there. That's just like that's a clutching at straws if there ever was one.
Well, I didn't want to.
Which pyramid are we talking about? Because there's about 120 of the suckers.
Yeah, the Great Pyramid.
Okay, and hang on. So what's it say? So it's saying that the coordinates or the latitude, is it?
Yep. 29.9792458 degrees north.
Okay, so 29.9792. Okay. What are we looking at? Speed of light. That's actually a pretty good coincidence. I'll give it that. That is actually a pretty cool coincidence.
I looked that up too because I'm like, that can't be right. Damn, it is.
Okay. Look, that is absolute coincidence because the Great Pyramid wasn't even the first one built. Okay, so if we were to look, the first pyramid,
it was actually kind of kicked in more. It came up. Not as a steep angle and then kicked in.
But so the first pyramid was probably built about, I think the Great Pyramid's about 2100. I should probably look that up. BC, and whereas they started, so it's probably about 500 years into the pyramids being built. So it's not it wouldn't be one of the early ones anyway. So, I mean, what about all the other ones? I mean, you could probably find, if you look hard enough, anything.
Yeah.
Really.
Pretty much. So, ready to move on to the next one?
But, hang on. So hang on. So that's miles per second. Is that correct?
Meters per second, yep.
Meters per second. But meters wasn't an instrument that was used, and why do we think that aliens would use meters the same as we do? I mean, we don't even all use the same measurement system on this planet. I mean, I use meters here in Australia, you use feet in the US.
I didn't write it, man.
Okay. Probably make, you could probably find anything you wanted to with that, really.
Yeah. I mean, how many parsecs is it going to be? I mean, really?
Exactly. Meters isn't a universal measurement.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next one. They are hiding advanced technology inside the pyramids. So, in the 1990s, a secret door was discovered inside one of the Great Pyramids with red writing on the outside. Zahi Hawass allowed a robot to drill a small hole and peek inside. Then he announced that nothing was found, but refused to give the videotapes as proof. The Egyptian government forbade researchers from abroad to look for themselves. This spawned a host of conspiracy theories that the chamber had a great treasure, an alien corpse that would disprove religion, or that Hitler, Steve Jobs, and Jimmy Hoffa were still alive and playing cards in the secret chamber.
Yeah, that makes sense. That'd be an interesting game. I'd probably have my money on Hoffa. I think he'd be the better card player. But no, so just to be clear, so they drilled into an area, sent a robot in, said there was nothing in there, and then people asked for the video and they said no. Well, they don't release a lot of the videos and stuff from within the pyramids to the general public anyway, because it's things that experts study, I know the Egyptian government's very, very tight on what's in there, and some of that has to do with, for religious reasons, because there's like monuments to, Ra or, any of the ancient Egyptian gods that were worshipped, and the Egyptian government, being the hardcore fundamentalist Muslims that they are, don't like to acknowledge that they used to have other gods in the past. So, I'd say that's a big nothing to see here.
The Hitler, Steve Jobs, Jimmy Hoffa is still alive playing cards thing. That one kind of got me. I'm like, really?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if there's advanced technology in there, why wouldn't they be on the PlayStation?
Yeah.
Bit of Command and Conquer,
Playing some, playing some World of Warcraft on the gaming PC or something,
See, I think they'd be Alliance.
I don't know. I think Jobs would be the Horde.
Yeah, Hitler's definitely Alliance. He'd be like a white human. He'd be human. He would be doing it for Stormwind. Yeah. But Jimmy Hoffa, no, I think Jimmy Hoffa would probably be like running around as a gnome. He'd be like the gnome in the suit. Or maybe a goblin.
Oh, Goblin. I could see Goblin.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, that's probably
one of them sneaky little bastards.
Yep. Makes sense.
So,
well, I'm still not convinced that the pyramids were anything apart from Egyptian burial.
This one may change your mind. This next one may change your mind.
Excellent.
They were built by Jesus's father to store wheat.
They were built by Jesus' father.
Yep. So
okay. Now you've got to tell me this one. This is okay.
Based on the quote, "Squared stone and rubble," biblical theorists have claimed that Joseph built the pyramids to store wheat grain. This one comes from Christians who want to take credit for the pyramids themselves. The theory has been around since the 6th century, but came back after U.S. presidential candidate Ben Carson cited the theory.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Is it specifically Joseph, the father of Jesus, or Joseph? Because there was a Joseph in the Bible, and he did build in Egypt to store grain.
It just says Joseph, but the thing is Joseph Jesus' father. So
well, there's multiple Josephs in the Bible.
Yeah.
So because if you go back to Genesis, there's Joseph, who his brothers abandoned him, and he went and basically became second in command to the Pharaoh, and they built the reason he got to prominence was because he recommended building and storing and saving the wheat, which is where the tithe actually comes from. Everyone had to put a tithe of their grain, and that's what got the Egyptians through a famine.
So, when asked how Joseph may have gotten the technical expertise for such a feat, rather than say he got the plans from God, Carson surprised everyone with the obvious answer. Various of scientists have said, well, there were alien beings that came down and they have special knowledge, and that's how.
Hang on. Ben Carson actually said that?
Yep.
American politicians. Seriously, you've got the best politicians in the world. Like it's, oh man, it's scary that some of these people potentially could have access to a nuclear arsenal one day.
KCA Randy says, "Hold on, I heard Yahweh was the father."
Well, and the same.
And then Grumpy with Ben Carson is an idiot.
Well, based on that, if he said that in all seriousness, then yeah, he's an idiot. Not the dumbest American politician, not by a long shot, but that's a pretty insane thing to say. What's even crazier is in American politics, you can say something like that and still be a presidential candidate.
Yep.
God bless America.
So,
please don't nuke us.
This next one actually comes from our friends, the Russian KGB agents.
Oh, okay. Russian KGB should be good.
Yeah. This is the pyramids are actually an energy source. Says in files found in the storage of a Russian intelligence archives, the KGB researched the pyramids of Giza and disclosed a report detailing a strange electromagnetic power field surrounding them. It read, during inspection of the wall segment, we noted an odd sensation. A magnetic repulsive force seemed to be emanating from the rock. We were unable to find any scientific explanation. This created the theory that the pyramids were a massive energy power plant like a Tesla coil used to gather and transfer electricity through the air. Theorists have claimed this allowed the Egyptian to transfer energy to the Mayan pyramids. However, despite all manner of tests, no difference in the electromagnetic field inside or outside the pyramids have ever been recorded. You would have thought that someone would have remembered that the pyramids could light their houses, or maybe just forgot where the light switch was located.
Well, I'm just wanting to know how stone structures have the ability to send electricity to the Americas from Africa. Well, that's some technology we need.
Exactly. Yeah, hell yeah.
Especially considering it's got a curve around the Earth.
Earth's flat.
Ah, shit. Yeah, of course. Yep, Earth's flat.
But back in that time, they probably thought the Earth was hollow, so it'd just shoot down through these, winding through the tunnels, kind of like the light bouncing off mirror type thing.
Yeah, it's like the old dig your way. If you dig long enough, you'll hit China.
You'll hit China.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's see, I've heard things about electromagnetic and all that kind of stuff and weird things like that, but I normally just put that down to natural phenomena that occurs in a lot of places. I think there are some things that you can just say are a coincidence, and you do have areas that have got high levels of electromagnetism, in particular where there's a desert.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not uncommon.
Yeah. Like Randy said, ley lines.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably the most plausible one we've heard so far, but that's really not saying too much.
Yeah. Well, this next one, the Illuminati built them.
Oh, well, that's true. We know that.
Well, Grumpy said the all the equipment has been stolen by Tomb Raiders, so
yeah, makes sense.
That's why we can't find it anymore.
Yes.
So, despite the fact that the Illuminati was officially founded in 1785, many people who point to Kanye West and Jay-Z as the Illuminati's favorite rappers also point to their role in the pyramid creation. The group took up the pyramid with the eye on the top of their symbol with the Latin phrase, one of many. Which, go back to my channel and check out my Eye of Providence video. The Illuminati.
So hang on. So just to be clear, they were using a Latin phrase thousands of years before Latin was a language.
Yes.
Cool. No worries.
So, Illuminati scholars state that the Latin actually means New World Order, and that the eye on the pyramid and the eye of Horus point to the Illuminati's power throughout time. However, this theory was proposed in a popular book series from the 60s, not the original Illuminati, who were disbanded just 20 years after their founding. The book series was popular with the hippie movement, who used it as a mean of critiquing power elites. Many hippies made a semi-religious spirituality out of the narrative and began praying in the pyramids to collect its power and energy.
What do you have to say about, honestly, what can you say about that? I mean, where do we start? Okay, Latin as a language hadn't evolved at that point. I mean, Latin really doesn't appear until probably 500 BC, roughly, with the rise of Rome. Before that, the area or the Italian peninsula spoke Etruscan. The pyramids were built 2,000 years before that. So that really causes some issues there. The Illuminati, the Illuminati's a 19th century invention.
Well, no. You're thinking of the actual Freemason Illuminati. The actual Illuminati, also known as the New World Order, dates back to the dawn of time. It actually dates back to right around the time just after Cain left on his way and got married.
It's not really the New World Order then. It's kind of like the Old World Order.
Now it's known as the New World Order. Before it was just the.
So was Cain talking Latin in the Garden of Eden, or
who knows? But yeah. Okay, we do have a couple comments that's kind of funny. Like, I don't understand this one. D3 says, "Did Laura give back to Zion?"
That's from Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
Lara
Okay,
Croft.
I remember now. Yeah. Nerdy Rodent says, Sandy goes, they don't allow us into the pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which D3 said the Pyramid Treaty of 69 stops us from going there. And then Nerdy says, that sounds about right. Lizard men need the light from the pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
And Nerdy also says that Latin is a derivative from the original Illuminati language.
Well, you know what? I hadn't heard that. I definitely hadn't heard that.
Yes, Sandy, the Illuminati or the New World Order or the elites or whatever you want to call them have been pulling the strings since time began.
Which was only 6,000 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, just to be clear, 6,000 years ago when everything was created. Yes. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
So I've saved the best for last.
All right, I'm pumped. I am absolutely pumped for this one. What do we got?
Atlantis built the pyramids.
Well, that's true. Okay, well, let's listen to this, because I've heard some interesting theories on Atlantis. And please tell, is this a Graham Hancock theory?
I don't think so. I don't see any. No, I don't. Not in the write-up that I've got. I don't see it. It's actually Ignatius Loyola Donnelly, a former congressman from Minnesota.
American politicians.
Became obsessed with the legend of Atlantis, and in 1882 published a popular history titled Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. Among his theories listed in the first chapter of the book was Atlantis built the pyramids. Now, mind you, this isn't a nowadays congressman. This was a congressman from the 1880s.
Oh, look, if there's one thing that's consistent, it's batshit crazy American politicians. ever since the dawn of time. I think it was an Illuminati plan to just like prank you with the worst politicians there were.
So, here we go.
Okay.
There once existed in the Atlantic Ocean, opposite the mouth of the Mediterranean Sea, a large island, which was the remnant of an Atlantic continent and known to the ancient world as Atlantis. We all know this. This damn near word for word right out of Plato's. So, that the description of this island given by Plato is not, and has long been supposed, fable, but veritable history. That Atlantis was a region where man first rose from the state of barbarism to civilization. That the implements of the Bronze Age of Europe are derived from Atlantis. The Atlanteans were also the first manufacturers of iron. Donnelly argued that at the height of their civilization, the Atlanteans established colonies around the world and that the oldest of these was probably in Egypt, where civilization was a reproduction of that of the Atlantic island. As evidence for his claim that the Atlanteans had set up colonies around the world, Donnelly pointed to the tremendous similarities between the pyramids of Egypt and those of Mesoamerica. It's a theory that still persists among true believers today.
Okay. So, see, Atlantis is interesting. Okay. Because the first thing is, Plato is from the region. And there's a lot of people point to, or there's a lot of, I guess, modern theories that have tried to place Atlantis in Africa, in North Africa. In particular, that sounds like something that possibly Graham Hancock might have expanded on, because he's a big proponent of the Eye of the Sahara or the Rishat structure being Atlantis, which have used. Okay, I'll bring a picture up of it. I'll bring a picture up of the. Where are we? So I'll grab it. Here we are. This is from. I think this is a. You can never get the picture you want, can you? All right. So let's try this. So I'll bring it up. Okay, so that's the Eye of the Sahara, or the Eye of Africa, or the Rishat structure. So it's smack in the middle of the desert, basically in northern Mauritania. Let me just show everyone on a map where that is, just to get a bit of perspective. So I'm just going to pull up Google Earth. So this is and don't get me wrong, I don't think this is Atlantis at all. In fact, the evidence almost definitively proves it's not. But this is
It's got rings.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it's Atlantis. All right, so hang on. So what I'll do is let me just do a bit of a screen share here. Okay. So if we have a look, so Mauritania, as we go down, this is it here. You can sort of see that's what it looks like from the sky. Actually, there's probably a whole episode of conspiracies on the Rishat structure.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of it does look. It was actually astronauts who spotted it. Originally, it's because, well, if you're down close to it, really, I mean, what is there? It's just rocks.
If you think about it, though,
in the middle of the desert,
considering way back in the day, most of the Sahara was actually green. So
absolutely, yeah, it was. Around the time Atlantis would have been around, but the problem is that's where it is.
Yeah.
There's a long way. It mightn't look it on a map, but I mean, on here, but I mean, from there to there is the ocean. I can pretty much guarantee that all of that wasn't underwater. No. And that certainly wasn't, it wasn't an island or a continent of its own.
Not to mention, it says you're coming out of the straits of God damn it.
Now there is an argument that
where Hercules was standing, with the pillar, where Hercules statue going out that strait. I can't remember the name of it.
That's just right here. That's where they say Hercules was.
Was it at Gibraltar?
Well, once again, they're not really too sure, because it's, who knows? I mean, we know where the Colossus was. The Colossus
of Rhodes.
Yep, that was here in Rhodes.
Yep.
Up on this northern peninsula. So we do know where a lot of things were. And interestingly enough, I mean, you want to talk Illuminati and things like that. The amount of things that was stolen by America. Like the Colossus of Rhodes, the Statue of Liberty is based off the Colossus of Rhodes, even to the point where it's holding up the torch. Your Abraham Lincoln Memorial, that's a direct rip-off of Zeus.
I have to correct you. We did not make the Statue of Liberty. That was a gift to us from France.
It was the French.
So you can't blame that one on the Americans.
It was their Freemason buddies.
The Abe Lincoln was based off the statue of Zeus.
Yeah, which was one of the wonders as well.
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting. The Richat structure, or the Eye of the Sahara, is an interesting one, and there has been a lot of Atlantean sort of. I mean, the natural thing is when you've got something like that in the middle of the desert in Africa, all of a sudden it's, well, Egypt, who built the pyramids? It must have been the Atlanteans. The reality is Atlantis probably never existed. That's not to say it definitely didn't, but it probably never existed.
The Atlantis described by Plato, no.
Incidentally, I don't know if there's noise coming through in the background. There's some douchebag out the front revving his car.
I didn't hear nothing.
Nah, well, that's good.
But like you said, the Atlantis described as Plato, I don't think so. But I do, and like I said, I've said it before, I really can't prove it. I do think there was an ancient civilization before then.
Oh, look, there's another
that was technologically advanced.
Look, there's potentially, and Robert's right. It's a geologic dome, the Richat structure. It's naturally occurring. So when we're talking advanced technology, now this is where a lot of people go off track with advanced technology. Everyone thinks that, okay, well, we're talking, the Atlanteans, if they existed, had this advanced technology. They're all cruising around in their flying cars.
Oh yeah, no.
There's the tales of the ancient battles. In fact, in the Bhagavad Gita, there's another episode of conspiracies, the Bhagavad Gita, where it talks about the flying craft or the flying chariots battling each other, and the thought is that it was the Indians versus the Atlanteans. There's a lot of but advanced technology for a civilization could be anything. I mean, a great example is the Indigenous Australians. So most people think that the Indigenous Australians essentially, they were a hunter-gatherer people with a version of agriculture that's pretty foreign. But what people don't realise is that 60,000 years ago, their civilization was more advanced than anywhere else because they were the first seafaring people. So that was an advanced technology back then. If someone, if the Atlanteans had iron back in the days of the Bronze Age, even before the Bronze Age, I think the Atlanteans would have been dated to about 10,000 BC if you go off Plato. But that would actually put them, in the Iron Age when everyone else was in the Stone Age. And potentially, there were different water levels at the time. It's only 6,000 years ago, England was connected to Europe through Doggerland. So sea levels have changed over time, and there would be a lot of lost civilizations throughout there. So is there a possibility of an Iron Age empire or, people? Yeah, it's possible. Is it likely? Probably not.
Yeah, but we don't know. And I'm leaving it to the we don't know possibly section.
Yeah, see, I think there would be more evidence because, we have a lot of evidence of our anthropological history. And there'd be something. There would have to be something because we know our migratory patterns. We know how we got to everywhere. We know where the sea levels were at different sizes, and we've found things, underneath on the ocean floor where there, once wasn't the ocean floor. Jen's right. Doggerland it's actually really interesting. Doggerland.
I don't know anything about it.
It's you know what? I will very quickly show you because I still have Google Earth open on the other one. Hang on. So Doggerland basically is here. That was all connected.
Really?
Yep.
So that area, the ocean there is not that deep then?
No, it wouldn't be. Let me see what I can find. Hang on. Let me. I'll find something on Doggerland. This has got nothing to do with the pyramids. This is kind of how we go.
While you're looking at that, I do want to. Gary asked me what tips me into the possibly category. Well, for one, go Beckley Tepe. I mean, just how old that is and the advancement they had in their stone cutting and stuff. What's to say there's not something out there that's buried that was even more advanced before then?
Beckley Tepe isn't that advanced.
It was at the time, though.
No, it's consistent with
the stone carving.
It's consistent with the time, very consistent with the time. What's interesting about Göbekli Tepe is it was basically a trading post. It was set up as a trading post, so it's pre-agricultural civilization. So it was unusual for the time because at that time it was, it was basically there's a lot of theories. One is that it was like a trading post or a meeting place, but it was also a religious structure, and all of that could be true. It could have been like a religious structure that many different hunter-gatherer groups met at, and while they were there, they traded, and it's a very early version of that. But it's certainly not out of line with a lot of things that you would see from that era. I'll bring up. I've got Doggerland for you as well. Hang on. So here is Doggerland.
Huh.
So there you go.
Jen said it was very low lying and it was flooded by a tsunami around 4000 BC. She thinks.
Yep. No, that's about 6,000 years. So 4000 BC. That works. Yep.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't prove it. I can't. I just it's one of those that I feel.
Look, Göbekli Tepe is insanely cool. Like, it is just such a cool thing to have found. But it's nowhere near the oldest evidence of human history. It's the oldest of its kind. And when it was dated, it was quite surprising. But yeah, it was basically it's where hunter-gatherers met to trade.
Gary wants to know, is that where doggies come from?
Yes, it is. That's where all the puppy dogs come from. I know Gary's a cat person, so, I probably shouldn't have told him that. The cats, actually, there's a conspiracy. The cats drowned Doggerland.
Nerdy says it must have been a bit later than that because the Earth is only 6,021 years old.
This is true. Yes, possibly it was the spaceship that God was on when He created everything.
Oh, speaking of,
yeah, but it's about 30,000 years old.
What the doorway? I can't remember what it's called. It's in Peru. Doorway to the gods.
Oh, the stairway to the gods or something?
No. The doorway to the gods.
Not much a picture.
No. I will. No. It's in Marca, Peru.
Doorway to the gods in Peru. What do we got? We have got Aramumuru, okay, near Lake Titicaca. Discovered in the early 1990s, and an Incan construction, abandoned Incan construction. Okay.
Is that the same one? The Hayamarca in Peru? It's the Amaru Muru, or the Gate of the Gods.
Yep.
Yeah, the story behind that one is interesting. I like this story. It's a good story. It is said that there was, trying to remember off the top of my head, there was a visitor come through the door. Something. God, I wish I could remember the whole thing. I was going to do a video on it at one point, but I ended up not doing it. Anyways, it is said that he created a key which he wore on his head as a crown, and that he would return someday through the door.
Okay, that makes
but
sense.
The door is locked. The door is
interdimensional aliens, I'd say.
Yeah, extra dimensional aliens and.
No, it's basically it's an abandoned project. But good point from Robert here. Doggerland was flooded by the flood of Noah, of course. That makes sense. Yep.
And Clockwork Rex said it's a door carved in the side of a mountain.
Pretty much, yeah.
And like Nerdy said, something door, something gods. You're right. It's true.
Aliens. So that's all some interesting stuff. So look, I think from going back to the pyramids and going back to the Atlanteans, because I kind of went on one of my Chris tangents there, which I tend to do that. It's when I go on my Chris tangents, they can kind of lead anywhere. But no, look, it's Atlantis and the pyramids. If Atlantis was in fact a place, and if in fact it was something that the time was as described by Plato, well, the construction of the pyramids would be closer to modern times than they would be to Atlantis, because Atlantis would have been about 10,000 BC, whereas the pyramids were around about
2,500.
Yeah, 2,600, I think, to about 1,600. With a few, like a couple of small ones in Sudan, which are probably they were just trying to do their own in like 500 or 600.
But Jen said, Doggerland is an awesome tangent.
It is.
There we go. Oh, Nerdy's got it. The pyramids were built by the Illuminati as a doorway for the gods to reach Atlantis. Boom.
That makes sense. See, the question is, can we combine all of those conspiracy theories into one? Okay, so we've got the pyramids were built by the Illuminati, which would mean that the Illuminati were headed by Noah, who built it for the flood. What else did we have in there?
Joseph used them as a store store grain.
Yeah, well, that would make sense because you've got to feed the animals on the ark.
There was. Let me pull this back up. Aliens built it.
Well, Noah was from space. Yep.
Advanced hidden technology was inside.
Of course, Noah was an alien, so you assume he had some good stuff.
It's also an energy source. I mean,
of course. Well, it's got
it pulls the light from the sun down through the top, bounces off the mirrors through the hollow earth over to Mesoamerica.
Yep, makes sense. The Earth would have been hollow because the flood waters came from underneath, so there would have been a lot of empty space underneath. So it all makes sense. It all adds up.
Put it all together and make it one big one.
All conspiracies are true. I like it. Yeah, we can run with that. Everything's a conspiracy, isn't it?
Talk to the right people.
Absolutely, but. I don't know. Where do you go from that, really?
Well, Robert Madwell says there's some real Drunlavo Melchiv. I can't even pronounce that name.
Melchizedek.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
A Babylonian ruler, I think.
And Jen says that's how Jesus got to the U.S. For the Mormons. He was teleported.
It makes sense from the pyramids.
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean, they did bring up Lord Xenu for Scientology, so I mean, Joseph Smith there in Kolob can't be that far behind.
So to get back to the Joseph one, I think that might be a biblical interpretation rather than a conspiracy, because I think it's Joseph is that specifically talking about Joseph from the New Testament, or does it say just Joseph?
It just says Joseph.
Okay, because Joseph, Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. So Joseph is in Genesis. He goes to Egypt and he actually does the biblical story is that he builds the storage for that. So a lot of Christians have said, well, that must be the pyramids, because it's, once again, they're fitting something into their narrative, which they tend to do a little bit of. They do.
That the same Joseph of Arimathea?
No, that's a different Joseph again.
That's a different Joseph. Okay,
that's one of the priests who loved Jesus so much that if the Bible was true, he would have been one of the ones who condemned him to death, but then gave him it was his tomb supposedly. But I think Arimathea,
that's right. Yep.
Yeah, Arimathea directly translates into Here Town.
Here Town?
So he's Joseph of Here Town or Heresville or something like that. It's like one of those stupid kind of. It's one of those things that I think got a bit lost in translation. But yeah,
Magrathea. What the hell was that from? Hitchhiker's Guide. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay. See, I saw that years ago, but I don't know. It just I enjoyed it, but I never got right into it. It never quite did it for me.
Oh, the one with the newest one.
I haven't seen the newest. I watched the classic one back in the.
No, watch the newest one. The newest one is so funny. It's got Martin Freeman.
Yeah, the guy from The Office, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and Mos Def and Zoe Deschanel. I can't remember what the guy's name was. Sam Rockwell.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman plays the voice of the depressed robot.
Well, I'm in lockdown now for the next 2 weeks, so I got time.
Yeah.
Got time.
Yeah.
I'll watch it with the kids.
Jen says the original BBC one was awesome. I don't think I've seen that one. I might have seen it, but I think it was
that's the one I saw back in the day. I think it was like a mini series or a series or something. But yeah. It's all good. So I think we're almost at the hour mark. We've done well. We've kind of, I think we've managed to contain my ramblings, and glad I finally got to get the Eye of Sahara finally gets a run.
A little bit, yeah. Which Ed said earlier is Impact Crater.
No,
Spaceship Impact Crater.
Yeah, maybe that's where the
look at the lines, man.
That would be a big impact crater.
Big ships. That's what killed the dinosaurs.
Well, that would be bigger than the one that killed the dinosaurs. It's about 50 kilometers wide. It's massive. The Rishat structure is massive. Like they literally only just saw it from space. So, but we might look at the Rishat. There's some good conspiracies around the Rishat structure. So I know it's Graham Hancock's got some doozies. His stuff's really interesting. He sells it very well, but it doesn't quite add up. But anyway, it is what it is. So I think on that note, we might, I think we call it. But next week, Men in Black.
Men in Black.
We've got Catherine Roberts will be with us on Six Pack, which I'm looking forward to. She seems like a really, really kind of like we had a serious chat on the podcast, but I think she seems like she's got a bit of a wicked sense of humour.
Mm.
So I think she'll fit in quite well with Six Pack. And look, the good news is Darth Dawkins will be back. We're trying to secure an interview at the moment with Darth Dawkins' mother. So we're working on that. Hopefully we might actually, if not this week, it will be the week after, but we're hoping to have Darth Dawkins' mother in for a chat. Following week, Steve McRae and Chesh will be on with us. And we got heaps of stuff coming up. It's all happening,
Jen wants in for the Men in Black.
All right, she's got to dress in a black suit though. She's got to go for what's Valkyrie? What's she was in the new one, the one who Tessa Thompson.
See, I haven't seen the new one.
Oh, neither have I. But I know Tessa Thompson's in it.
It looks so bad.
It's frustrating because they keep taking all these shows and wanting to, gender swap, and it's like, enough. Just leave the classics. Stop remaking classics and trying to,
Well, it's not a remake; it's a continuation, just with new characters, from what I understand.
Yeah,
Jen
okay.
says she does have a black jacket and sunnies.
Well, there we go.
There
She's
you
in.
go.
Jen is in. Jen is in.
So
I mean,
yeah,
Jen's welcome. Jen's welcome on conspiracies anytime she wants.
so
Like, you know.
the next 4 weeks for conspiracies, we got Men in Black 2 weeks in a row. Next week we're going to look at the history of the Men in Black, and the week after we're going to look at some stories. After that, we're looking at the Order of Our Lady of Fatima, also known as Miracle of the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we're going to dive into the Vril and the Thule Society.
All things I'm looking very, very much forward to.
So that's
I think
the next 4 weeks out in conspiracies. If you guys have a conspiracy you would like us to cover, let us know.
hit us up.
Hit us at our new email address. Chris, what is that new email address?
That would be Hereticals 6-pack. So Hereticals and then the number 6-pack at gmail.com. So hit us up. Let us know if you've got any ideas. Hey, we're always looking for things to cover. We're happy for suggestions. Like, we are really happy, and we are going to start covering some cults on conspiracies as well. So it's not just going to be wacky aliens every week. We're going to dive into some of the cults that are sort of within that same. Like, we're not going to do Scientology or anything that's sort of too well known, but we might look at things like Heaven's Gate or
Heaven's Gate.
There's plenty. It's. I wouldn't mind touching on the Raelians. I think we might give them a bit of a run at some point.
Uh-oh. What Raven says, Jay shoots mine down all the time. I think she's talking. If
Raven, don't talk to Jay. Just message me direct.
I think she's talking about the and I could be wrong. Because she, because her up, her family, whatever. That we live in a simulation.
Mm-hmm. See, I think that's a good one to do, actually.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, my 11-year-old came to me today and she said, I saw this thing on YouTube and the people who think we live in a simulation, like, literally this was a conversation I had today, and I was like, well, yeah, the simulation theory. And so they said, I think it's kind of from the people who watch The Matrix. And then she looked at me and she said, what's The Matrix? And I'm just like, what's The Matrix? So The Matrix is also on the list of things we're going to be watching this school holidays. So all fun. All right. Well, on that note, I think that's us.
Yeah, man. Just a second.
Now, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Also, hit the notifications bell. That way, you'll know if we've got something on. You'll know, or it's because I know that we stream it early in the morning. At least that way, when you jump onto YouTube, you'll see that we've had a stream, and you can come back and watch it later. So Hereticals6pack at gmail.com. And you'll get both myself and Jay there.
Yeah. Also, what was I going to say? Oh, how you guys like the new logo? Change up.
Well, actually,
colors. We've got the black, we got the white over the black, and we've got the black over white. So,
and the question is it the white over black or black over white? So what I might do, let's okay. So everyone can see the black over white there, and I think we've got the white over black as well in the logos, don't we?
I don't know if we did or not.
That's okay, because I can actually
throw that in there really quick. Yeah, we don't have it in there at the moment.
That's right. We do.
We do now.
So that's the other one. So we've got the two, and obviously it's got a white background there. So we've got the two. So happy to see what people think. If you prefer the black over the white or the white over the black, or let us know. It's we're going to, one of them will become a t-shirt in the near future. We're going to get the what is it? The Teespring.
Teespring. Yep.
Jay does all that stuff. I just kind of smile and buy the stuff because a few people have asked if we've got 6-pack shirts coming out. So
we will.
Makes sense.
Stickers and shirts, and maybe I'm going to talk to Chris. There's some other things we can do too, but I know I definitely want to do stickers and shirts.
Well, see, what I want to do is I want to go back and find some of the classic Jen faces from like early six pack. I got inspired when we had that old school one we did last week, where I think at the end it's like, oh yeah, we were talking, oh yeah, Jen was good value, and this is not long after we met Jen, and Jen had come up. We'd all gotten pretty smashed on this stream, but I think this is the one where Jen fell asleep, and I'm like, there would be some really, really classic screenshots. Some really good stuff that we could find from back in the day. So
no, Raven does make up a good point. We should do both because some people like dark shirts and some people like light shirts.
That's it.
There you go.
You know what? Like the ad says, the old El Paso. Why not both?
Exactly.
I don't know. Do you have those ads in the States, the old El Paso?
Yeah. Yep. Old El Paso. Okay, yep. And just for our buddy and coffee drinkers alike, we will have mugs also.
Hang on. Coffee.
We gotta have for our coffee.
If you like a coffee, well, you know, I think we should get some special Ed coffee.
Some special Ed coffee.
Yeah, have a coffee with Ed.
So we're behind the scenes. We were working on the Teespring thing.
We've been pretty busy actually. It's because I mean, look, it's the channel's kind of getting to a point now where it's not huge, but we're pretty close to cracking 1,000, and we want to do. I don't know. We just want to make it like we enjoy doing it. I mean, we do it just because we love doing it, but we just want to make it as good as we can for everyone. Like we really just kind of want to. The quality's something that's important. I think quality can get skipped over a lot, and I don't know. Maybe that's just me being OCD.
Now, I do want to question, since we got almost all of our regulars are in the chat right now, something we've been kind of tossing up. Would you guys be interested in a Patreon for Hereticals? Something we've kind of tossed back and forth, but we kind of not sure. If you guys are interested, let us know. If that's something you'd be interested in joining. Because, like I said, at this point, we're not even sure if we do a Patreon, what we could do for Patreon.
It's maybe like an after show hangout and six pack or something like where people who are patrons can jump in. But I don't know. I mean, look, it'd be great because I mean, patrons are always good because it helps. Like it's even like. I had the bill for Streamlabs come out today. It was about $60. Or StreamYard, sorry, it's about $60, and it's all. So there is costs that go in. Any help's good, But
so if you guys are interested in that,
let us know.
Or even if since we can't do, that thing.
And to answer Gary's question, no, there's no downside to getting.
There's no downside.
Yep. I guess it's more just if we get it set up, we want to make sure that we can actually produce something extra for the people who are supporting the channel. So it's just like if there's like one person at $1, is what can we do for that person? Or if we get 100 people at a lot more, I guess what would you all want if we were to set it up? I guess, any ideas? I mean, because we probably will, because it takes 5 seconds to set up anyway. So there's probably no downside to setting it up. It's just more a case of what can we offer? Because I think it's important to actually offer something to people who are supporting the channel.
So yeah, lots of cool things coming up. Lots of stuff coming down the pipe. Different things and whatnot. So, yeah, looking at some cool things. We will be doing some limited time stuff in the future. So once it's done, it's done, type of thing. So yeah,
I'm going to start having a lot more non-live videos coming out too. Some produced stuff. So I'm going to be doing a lot of reviews on like Answers in Genesis stuff and what's his name, Banana Man. So some of his stuff as well. We're going to be looking at a few things and just some sort of responses to some Christian apologetics. I think it's I may as well use the things I studied in my Bachelor of Theology for good rather than what it was intended for. So if I can debunk a few things and hey,
so Gary does have a good one for tier limit for Patreon. We have discount access to Fat P Old Dude on OnlyFans.
I think so. Hey, maybe we should set up an OnlyFans. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Hey, I'll talk shit with my shirt off.
I will probably get paid more if you keep it on, mate.
Oh, probably.
I've got the same problem. Don't worry. But, all good. But yeah, look, it's what we'll probably do is we might even have an open hangout or something in the next week or two, where it's just us talking about with all of you who are sort of regulars on the channel, and just let us know what you want from us. I mean, obviously, Six Pack and Conspiracies is here. It's any ideas, any thoughts. We've had Jay's karaoke, a special one-on-one with Darth. Look, I think that's got to happen. I think that's actually I am gonna put it out there to Darth Dawkins that I'm keen for round 2. I think we need to do a round 2. He won't show up. He wouldn't show up, but I will be putting the challenge out in a couple of weeks. But we might have a special guest in Darth's mother, maybe this week, maybe next week. We're just working to secure that. So Mrs. Dawkins, or Shmee Dawkins as I call her, Shmee. So
I like Shmee.
Shmee Dawkins. Gary, he wants to see me doing James Bond, the Sean Connery. Well, that's when Jen's around, it's very it's a bit of a yes. Well, hello, Jen. It's really good to see you. Come here, Miss Moneypenny. I'd like you to meet Jen, and she's in her little corner. So we always enjoy doing that for Jen.
There's one. Gary says behind the scenes of making of Hereticals.
Yeah, that'd be a quick one, because it's just like 5 minutes before. It's like, I'll show up. What are we doing, Jay? Okay, I'll hit this button. You hit that button.
Yeah. And Jen wants to know, is that because Gary is her precious?
Precious. Yes, I think Gary is her precious. Definitely, there's no two ways about that. And we have had the concern that Shmee Dawkins is wanting to eat Darth, but that's what we need to address, and we also need to address the open door policy. But we do have some footage of we've got the latest on Tangelo and Darth with some very interesting comments. So I think I sent you that video. Did you hear the comments?
Yeah.
That, some very well, I'll put it this way: some things were said that I'm pretty sure aren't allowed in Leviticus.
Also, for Six Pack this week, dumbass tweets. I've got a lot of them. I've got almost 2 weeks worth. So we got lots of dumbass coming.
Dumbass tweets, they never let us down, do they?
No, they don't.
We've always got plenty for dumbass tweets. It's I think we've got heaps of content. We've got heaps of stuff. It's there's even a I think having Catherine on too, we might have some fun. But we are actually looking at I guess the best of the worst of Christian apologists this week. So we're going to be looking at we're going to pick out a few. If there's anyone in particular you would like us to look at, let us know. But I mean, Joel Osteen, Kenneth Copeland, Benny. I think Benny will probably get a run. We have done Kenneth and Benny before, so
yeah, we have.
So no, actually, it's a favourite of mine is a guy called John Hagee, who he's at Texas, San Antonio, I think, and he's predicted the end of the world about 20,000 times. It's always dependent on which American president's in power, and two guesses which way he votes. I'm pretty sure he had Obama pinned as the Antichrist at one point and wrote a book.
They did. They had him so pinned as the Antichrist, and now Biden's the Antichrist, and yeah. I
don't think Biden can be the Antichrist. I mean, he's older than the devil, so.
Clinton was the Antichrist.
I had a massively depressing moment the other day because it's I had my 40th birthday about a week ago, so I've kind of been feeling older than I probably should, and a bit shit. Things are starting to catch up with me. Then I found out that I wear the same brand of sunglasses and the same style of sunglasses as Joe Biden. I'm just like, oh fuck no! I had to, and not for anything political, but I'm just like seeing groovy old grandpa Joe Biden with his Ray-Ban aviators, and there he's trademark, and I'm just like looking down at my sunglasses, going, oh no! I am not that. No. So I'm looking for a new pair of sunglasses right now. But anyway, all fun, groovy old dude. Not the worst thing I've been called. Yeah. Not the worst thing I've been called. Well, look, on that note, we might groove on out of here because this old dude needs to go to bed. It is way past my
This old dude needs to eat. Yeah, I got an 18-inch grinder waiting for
me.
Whoa,
so. You got an 18? Is that
18-inch? No.
Is that giant Buddhist?
No. Now, see, there was a conversation about that. That we got to watch out because I dropped it once and the Earth became flat. If I drop it again, it'll go concave.
Oh, it could be the donut Earth.
Yeah, that and if I happen to drop it a third time, then we're going to get hollow Earth. So I got to be careful.
Well, it could be another Big Bang.
That's possible there too.
Yeah, Gary's got a good question. At an inch on 18-inch on
grinder, yeah.
Yeah, wherever around GBC. Jen swiping left.
So on that note, thank you everybody. Thanks for joining us on Conspiracies again. We'll see you on Six Pack next week, Men in Black. Have a good night, everybody. Be water, my friends.